All right, so now we've done our first draft read, of the Witch and Wizard prologue. Now we're going to do a second draft read, and when we do the second draft read, we're going to annotate. So I'm going to ask for you to annotate along with me. So any annotations that I make, you're also going to make. If you have other annotations that you would like to make because you have some other connection to it, you can. I think I should probably tell you what annotations are. Annotations are marking the text. So if you have a question or if you underline something or you notice something, something stands out to you, you're going to mark it. And so we are physically going to write on this piece of paper. And okay, so I'm just going to read it, and it's going to be kind of choppy because we've already read it once. So here we go. Wisty, it's overwhelming. A city's worth of angry faces staring at me like I'm a wicked criminal. All right, so I'm going to underline overwhelming and angry and wicked because those are all negative connotations. So we kind of know what negative connotation is. So I'm just going to write NEG over it for negative. I'm just going to write NEG. That way it just brings it out that it's very negative. I promise you I'm not. The stadium is filled to capacity, past capacity. People are standing in the aisles, the stairwells, on the concrete ramparts, and a few extra thousand are camped out on the playing field. There are no football teams here today. They wouldn't be able to get out of the locker room tunnels if they tried. All right, so this part right here, like this is very crowded. Like that's a lot of people. So I'm just going to write that. A lot of people. Like to the point of too many, maybe. Maybe I should write that. Like too many. Okay. This total abomination is being broadcast on TV and the internet too. All the useless magazines are here and the useless newspapers. Yep, I see cameramen and elevated roofs in the intervals around the stadium. Okay, so useless. I'm going to write my NEG because that's very negative. But I'm also, I'm actually going to circle useless. And I want to note, and it's okay if I kind of go over this because you're going to be able to read it. This is being repetitive as well. Repetitive. Yep, okay. But again, this is even more people. So more people. So this must be like a really big event of some kind. And I can even write that. Big event. Okay. There's even one of those remote-controlled cameras that runs along the wires above the field. There it is, hovering just in front of the stage, bobbing slightly in the breeze. So there are undoubtedly millions more eyes. So here it goes. Millions more eyes watching. So that brings it back to this big event that I can see. But it's the ones here in the stadium that are breaking my heart. To be confronted with tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of curious, uncaring, or at least indifferent faces. Talk about frightening. All right, so curious, uncaring, or at least indifferent. I feel like this all kind of comes down to negative. And I'm not 100% sure about what's going on, but the fact that they're frightened, like that's kind of concerning to me. I'll go ahead and write that as well. Concerning, I don't understand what's happening at this point. So I can put a question mark. I could even say what's happening. What's happening? Okay. I should have said, though, at any point, if I'm going too fast, pause and then play again. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. And there are no moist eyes, never mind tears. No words of protest, no stomping feet, no fists raised in solidarity, no inkling that anybody's even thinking of surging forward, breaking through the security cordon and carrying my family to safety. Okay, so there's a lot here. I'm going to box all of this in, as well as this. This is very repetitive. It is also, whoops, I spelled that wrong. And it's also very negatively connotated. It makes me sad, really, because it's the whole thing of family to safety. So this makes me sad. I'm not really for sure what's happening still, but it does make me sad about it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next one. All right, clearly, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Clearly, this is not a good day for us all goods. So this is kind of funny to me. It's kind of ironic. Ironic. because it says it is not a good day for us all goods. So it kind of makes me laugh. The author did that for a reason. Anyways, just kind of ironic there. In fact, as the countdown ticker flashes on the giant video screens at either end of the stadium, it's looking like this will be our last day. All right, last day, that's even in italicized, so it's, again, I'm really still confused. Again, going down to this whole what's happening. I still don't know, but maybe their last day. Okay. It's a point driven home by the very tall, bald man up in the tower they've erected midfield. He looks like a cross between a Supreme Court Chief Justice and Ming the Merciless. I know who he is. I've actually met him. He's the one who is the one. All right, so he's the one who is the one. I'm not 100% sure, but is he like for our world, like, is he like the president? Is he a dictator? He's obviously the one in control. But I don't know who he is. So is this like a dictatorship? I don't know. Again, I'm just putting my thoughts on paper. That's what annotations are. All right. Directly behind his oneness is a huge NO banner, the New Order. Okay, so I'm going to box this in, the New Order. So the fact that it says the New Order, I wonder if this is like a government change. So government change. So I wonder, I'm thinking, and I'm not going to write all of this on there, but I wonder if like this family does not meet the expectations of the New Order. I don't know. And then the crowd begins to chant, almost sing, the one who is the one, the one who is the one. Imperiously, the one raises his hand, and his hooded lackeys on the stage pushes forward, at least as far as the ropes around our necks will allow. Whew. Okay, so there's some hanging happening, possibly. That's kind of scary. So I can even put that. Scary. But this also kind of goes back to, this could be our last day. Okay. I see my brother Wit, handsome and brave, looking down the platform mechanism, calculating if there's any way to jam it, some means of keeping it from unlatching and dropping us to our neck-snapping deaths. All right, so again, we're kind of just saying this whole neck, like this part, there's neck and neck. Death kind of goes back up here to, whoa, sorry, this is kind of awkward, but it kind of comes up to that last day again. I see my mother crying quietly, not for herself, of course, but for Wit and me. I see my father. I'm going to stop for a second. I see something, which is kind of funny, but I see. So this, again, is very repetitive, and it goes through her whole family. Okay. Let's see. I see my father, his tall frame stooped with resignation, smiling at me and my brother, trying to keep our spirits up, reminding us that there's no point in being miserable in our last moments here on this planet. So again, it goes up to here. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm supposed to be providing an introduction here, not the details of our public execution. So let's go back a bit. So this makes me think that they're obviously still alive. So something must have happened. So it makes me want to read the story, honestly. So I would want to add this witch and wizard to my maybe list, but that's just me. Something else, I kind of want to go back here because I forgot to add this, where it says scary here, and like these necks and the neck and the hanging and all of that. Like this is just very negatively connotated. So I'm just going to add this in, and even like the last day is all negative. Last moments on Earth. So this whole piece, I feel like if we are looking at it at this point, it's very negatively connotated. I'm not 100% sure what's going on because it's just the prologue of the book, but this is annotation. This lets you look at your annotations and go back to this piece and not have to reread the whole thing to figure out again what it's about. Because now I can just go to my markings, my annotations, and I can go, oh, yeah, I remember this. Okay, yeah, no, there are a lot of people. I'm not sure what's happening. It's really sad. These people are going to die. I don't know what's going on. So that way you don't have to reread the whole piece. All right.